What is up, fellow fans of Rush Wars? Welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you some defensive tips as to how to win and get defensive stars. Now, defense is one of the most important things in Rush Wars. Now, these tips are going to be generic concepts, so even if you haven't unlocked all the latest troops, it doesn't matter. These tips are going to apply to all. So first things first, we get some stars here. As you can see, yeah, I have a massive range. I have, for example, a 0-star defense, a 3-star defense, 1-star, 2-star, 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 0-0, and there's all sorts of different defenses, some 3-stars, some not. So we'll claim those and get those like so. Now let's go to my defensive base. We'll first get these, which is always awesome, and then we'll go to the defensive base. Now, defense is ultra important. It's one of the two best ways to get the stars. Now, I even prefer it over attacking because you don't have to do anything. You can just have a really good base and get hundreds of trophies. So without further ado, here are some general defensive tips for defending your base. So as we can see here, here is my base. Now, first things first, you do not need the highest level troops. You can do it with low level troops. Now, some of the best ones that I've found so far to work are lasers, bazookas, pitchers, as well as other things such as mortars. Now, there's always a massive mix of different things you use. Anything can work, although some things work far better than others. Now, if someone attacks you and 3-stars your base, don't worry. There's a few things that could be at play. You can't create a base, really, that realistically defends against every type of attack. You have to be prepared to lose some. You can't win them all because some people just have different things. So you just have to make one that's generally a pretty good base and can defend against the average kind of player. Now, I've found lasers are ultra effective because they slice those troops up. But remember, anything can be buffed or nerfed at any time, so you have to be willing to change your base accordingly, and if you notice a weakness, you can always change that. So as you can see here, this is my base as it stands. Now, I've got a whole heap of lasers in here. Now, what we're going to do, it's working, but we'll clear it anyway. How we're going to do this is we're going to look at some of the different things. So you've got all the different troops you can use, as well as all the different defenses you can use. Now, some people use lots of traps, some people don't use many traps. I find traps can sometimes be effective depending on their placement and depending on their layout. Now, since there are so many different layouts that you get, and you get swaps over every 1 or 2 days, you have to then change your base every day. So it's a good skill to have, knowing how to defend a base, but you also have to be willing to think, well, I can't use this same exact defense strategy for every single base. Now, another thing is you always want to join a clan so that you can get this defensive bonus thing. So if we can't go home yet, but if you have to get to level 3, you join a clan, then you can donate some coins and then get a defensive bonus. You always want to have that defensive bonus. So you have to look and you have to see, how do I want to defend this? This, for example, the 3 different stars, there's 2 down here, 1 up there. Often you could be like, you know what, we just won't worry about that one. We'll leave, for example, this front one like right out here and just let that one get taken in defense of the other 2. Because even if you're just getting 1 defensive star on average per battle, that's still going to be a lot. Now, you can't control how many people attack you. Sometimes lots of people attack you and you can go up hundreds in a day or so. But other times no one attacks you and it's really annoying. But you can't control that. What you can control is how defense and how ready you are in case someone does attack you. So here's the base here that we've got, and we have to determine what to. Now, there's different ways they can attack. They can attack upper or lower, so we want to take that into account and think, are they more likely to attack upper or lower? Now, we might think, well, actually, we've got these two, I'm just trying to get a radius thing that sort of shows this one there and that one there that they can attack, so maybe it's better to defend on the lower side. Now, some things is, if you're going to use a mortar, you want to have it really far back. You do not want things up here. You want to make them come to you, not you come to them. So, ideally, you don't want to put anything too far up the front because they'll destroy it. You also want to keep things approximately in range. So, if we come over here, and let's say we got this guy here. So, we don't want to put them up here, generally, because they're just going to get wiped out. You want them to have a massive fight with your troops at the same time. You want your troops to support each other. So, you don't want, like, this guy here, and then this guy way back here, so they come and kill this guy, and then this guy comes into action. You want them within that same radius, as you can see, so they're within each other, so they can support each other. But again, that might be slightly too long, so you might want to move them slightly closer. Now, as it stands, not many people use free, so you can use troops and clump them really close together, like so. But you don't normally want to have them like literally touching for a couple of reasons. A, the splash damage, because lots of the enemy troops that are attacking you are going to do splash damage. So you want to put a little bit of space between them as for them to not get the splash damage, but also they're close enough that they will defend each other and support each other and not take too long to come and help. So that's one thing. And another thing why you don't want to have them too close is the lasers. If you're too close, the lasers can wipe out 2 troops at once. So you, especially the low hit point ones, you want to keep them slightly far away. Now, as more people start unlocking freeze, you may have to start spreading them out slightly more. But as it currently stands, it's generally fine to have them really close. Now, you want to surround them around these things, and you want to make use of these decorations. So generally, you do not want to remove these. Like, you can clear them, but and for example, you could clear that and put a trap, but since it's already such an open base and they have so many different spots all along there and all along there they can attack this, you don't really want to remove your decorations. Now, another thing, you don't want to put your troops too close to these if ideally, because for example, if you put that there and they have, one of those arcade machines, boom, and you lose your troops. So yeah, if you can like literally remove them, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to remove them, but at the same time, they're not too much of an issue because they only destroy and it's a very close radius. Now, for example, putting them behind here is actually a really good idea, because generally the troops, even though they could go through the decorations, always seem to go around, so you could account for that. Now, for example, you have an approximate idea of where they're going to come in, so they're going to come in probably in one of these 3 squares, so you can put the trap here. Rather, like, if you put it there, that wouldn't be a very wise move, because they could go up there. Potentially they could attack there, but generally not. So you want to put the traps where they're going to be walking, so like right there, it basically is almost guaranteed going to hit it. For example, there is also another spot where they'll probably hit it, but you don't want to put the traps so far back that they won't be used until later. You want them to be actively, like, in battle. So you have the different defensive bonuses, and all sorts of the different ones are good. Okay, so you want to then spread them out a little bit, like so, and then, for example, you want to put them around here, but still in the radius of each other. So we'll put that guy there, that guy there. Now, another way to get some more people to attack you is to leave lots of gold in your gold storage, because then you have more gold that's available for them to attack, and it'll be more likely to attack you. So it might not be possible for you to keep boost the amount of gold you have, which is fine, but if you can, leave gold in there, because then people will be more likely to attack you. Okay, so we've got this. So we don't want to have them too far up the front, and we don't want them way out the back like here. This guy wouldn't be too helpful, because they could destroy the top one and almost get to the bottom one. So you want to have them sort of supporting each other. Now, you don't just want one type of troop either, because for example, these guys are all low hit points, so you do want to have some sort of tanky troop in there. Now, the lasers aren't tanks, but they generally work pretty well. So you might want to mix it up and put a couple of lasers in there, like so. Now, there's all sorts of different methods you can use in terms of your defense, and it does depend on your base. For example, some people literally, they go like this and just put the whole thing as those troops, which can work. But again, you have to be careful, because eventually people start figuring out how to do that. So you want to be slightly different, slightly unique with your base. You don't want to exactly copy everyone else, because if you copy other people's, then people get used to attacking those kind of bases and be able to 3-star yours. Now, if you see that there's a certain, for example, let's say you have all your troops up here, like so, and often they end up coming down and taking out this guy here and eliminating. You think, well, and then they get that star and the bottom star. You think, well, maybe we should support this guy. So don't feel afraid to try out little different things. So we might want to, for example, move this guy down here and think, well, actually, they seem to attack the other bottom, so maybe we should put a little bit more spread out, a little bit more down here, so we can sort of back each other along the way. Now, this here, that there could work all right, but I think it's too far forward. You don't want them that far forward. You want them back. And you can make use of the fact that, knowing realistically people are going to get some stars from you, you can use those as hit points. So you, for example, rather than putting this guy here, you might want to put him behind here, knowing they'll then attack that, but this guy here will get to shoot and do blast damage on them in the meantime. So don't be afraid to use those kind of those good gold storages as shields. As long as you at least defend one in the end. And just defending one is indeed a very good strategy. So we'll move those back. Now, there's the different types of traps you have. You got this one here, and you got all the other ones. Now, the freeze one can be really effective if properly placed. So this here would be potentially a really good spot for it. If you then have this guy here, and then this guy here. So and then all the other ones back here. So they come in here, they're about to attack, and then they freeze, and they have these guys absolutely hammering them as they come through the entrance. So try to put traps in like sneaky entrances. Now, walls can be of great use, but don't just put them along the front here like that, like so. If you're going to use walls, at least have them touching so they actually make a wall, and be careful to not leave like any gaps open like that, because then it's not very effective. But you can use the walls. You can use the walls around here like this, which slows them down. Now, walls don't seem to slow players down too much, but they can be helpful. So you can, for example, funnel them like that and guarantee that they'll get that get blasted and frozen by the trap. And so we'll move those back there, and there we go. So yeah, that is just a few generalized tips for defending. Be sure to keep trying. Be sure to keep practicing. Because if you get a good defensive base, it works really well. So I'll show you a photo. This one here was got to be one of my favorite, most defensive bases of them all. If we zoom in here, this is what it looked like. And this here was absolutely dominating. Getting 2 stars on so many different ones. It was just like, because this was my favorite layout. Because they had to come through those walls. And then, of course, I did the lasers getting ready to laser them directly, as well as the other guys. But yeah, keep at it. Keep trying with new strategies. And yeah, let me know what's working for you, what's not working for you, what are some tips I missed that you might want to let other people know in the chat, and be sure to upvote other people's ones if you see anything that you think's helpful. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for all the support you've been giving me, for all the like 300 likes and like 4,000 views and 1,000 views the first day on my last Rush Wars video. So encouraging. I've got so many ideas of future Rush Wars videos I want to make. I only covered some of the tips here. I had so many other stuff I want to say, but I didn't want to make the 2 videos too long. But I hope you have an absolutely beautiful, absolutely wonderful day. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for another video of Rush Wars.